Hi guys, my name is Noni Madikela. Welcome to the Noni M podcast. So today I want us to talk about Ufezile Ngubane, guys. Ufezile Ngubane is a guy that was a suspect in the Olerato Mungale murder case. State police SAPS department has come through. We must say when they do right, when they treated something with sensitivity and with professionalism, with caution and alles, to SEPS because they've done an incredible job. We must give them those. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about Olerato and the Olerato. It was her funeral today, the 1st of June. It was her funeral, and she's the lady that passed away last week, Sunday. Last week, Sunday was the 25th of May, 2025, and she was buried the 1st of June, 2025. She died in the hands of a cruel man or cruel men, because perhaps they wanted to rob her, they wanted to do whatever, or rape her. We don't know the full story. But as what they were saying, that she really fought. When they went to her mother said when they went to see her, her nails were not like I didn't wanna. So because it's very sensitive, man. But her mother is so strong, guys. Her mother is so strong. But she fought for her life. She died trying to fight for her life. And the other thing is that when Olerato met this para and murderer man, her mother was there. They were in the mall. Anyway, uMakhanya, what's Phila Ngenkosi Makhanya has met his maker already. And the second suspect is still on the loose and he's very dangerous. People must be on the lookout, especially if you're in KZN and somewhere those borders of Mozambique and Swaziland. I think those are closest to KZN. So people need to be here when it comes to that. Anyway, so why am I doing this video? It's because Ufezile Ngubane was the second suspect that handed himself over on Friday afternoon. Apparently, when I was listening, there was a big up to Newsroom Africa and ENCA. They were there. I saw them. I didn't see SABC. I'm not saying they were not. I didn't see them. But I'm happy that Ufezile Ngubane is getting the same recognition and the same media coverage that he got when he was being a suspect, né? Because his picture was out there as a suspect. Right now, what Newsroom did there with that interview, we always come for them when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case. But on this case, I'm happy. I'm happy with how they handled the entire situation. Tell me why they made sure that we are going to interview uMakhanya. Sorry, no. They are going to interview the Ngubanes, the father, the mother, and the son, which is Ufezile. Ufezile is my age. That's what I gathered there. They said something about being 40. So he's my age because I'm going to be turning 40 also this December. So he's my age. And Ufezile, what I could gather from his mother's story is that Ufezile lost his baby mama when the baby mama was doing grade 11. I don't know when was that. I think it could be someone who was our age or maybe a bit younger. I don't know. But the daughter is 19 years old. So if the daughter is 19 years old, that was 2000 and what? Let me check. I am not good with math. Mathematics is not my strong point. It's 2005 minus 2025. No, so that's 2006. Yes, the daughter was born in 2006. So in 2006, his baby mama passed away doing grade 11. So it looks like the way his mom was putting it out there, it looks like that's where the white powder usage came from. He got frustrated because his mom says, I understand futhi because we are black people, ezinye izinto we don't know them. He says if they knew back then that he needed counseling, he needed therapy, maybe this thing would have never happened because the way he is, his English is even better than mine, me and my broken English, because Ufezile can borrow me his English. He is so well articulated, guys. He speaks very well. He's very respectful. Uthobekile. He's not a problem child. Even his dad, no one is complaining about him. The other thing that I liked is that the parents were, the behavior of those parents was proper, guys, because those parents knew Fezile was in Durban. He was in KZN that Sunday, and he was in KZN the entire week. He had nothing to do with the crime. But what those parents did not do is to look for Fezile and tell him to run. They did not do that. When his father discovered that Ufezile is a suspect, when Ufezile saw it, from what I could gather from what he was saying, when he saw that on social media that he was a suspect, what he did, he ran away because he was scared for his life. And the reason that no one exposed him, it's because those people knew they were with Fezile in that area. They were with Fezile there. They knew. That's why people from where he comes from kept quiet, because they knew he was being accused for something he did not do. When his father discovered that story, because obviously not everyone was going to be up to date. Yeah, so when his father discovered, he went to look for him because Fezile went into hiding. What I could gather from that conversation between them and that ENCA reporter is that his father, when he found out, he went to look for his son. After he found him on Friday, he took him to the police station. They will clear you. Go there. That's the right thing to do. I remember I was having a conversation with friends on another TikTok live about that kind of situation, what to do as a parent. This parent knew his life is in danger. If he sticks around, police can come and think that he's running. That time he's not an armed person. So his challenge is being a white powder user. Other than that, he's not a criminal. He has never participated in that lifestyle. He spoke so well, guys, and he admitted his wrongdoing, and the stress that he gave to his parent is to use the powder. But his dad does say he's always here, Monday to Monday. He's always at home washing cars, and clearly the car wash is not far from home, because sometimes when it's raining, they wash the cars inside the yard. And his daughter clearly knows that Fezile is her father because she stayed with the father's family since she was 3 months, because her mother passed away. That was so painful, guys. One thing that is making me excited and happy is that we as South Africans were here with our words, and Fezile was scared for his life because of how people were talking. But now, what I've seen on social media now, there are people who are not backtracking, but there are people who are feeling bad for saying the things that they said, because now we were brought a picture of him in high school and this one, and then we saw the difference. And then we saw all he needs is help from Zdagamiswa. So I saw Griselda Kananda saying she is willing to assist for him to get clean. And the parents are also, they spoke to him. And also when he spoke, he said he wants help. And then he recognized that he is the one who must help himself from that situation. He said he did not say it like that, but he said something alluding to this was a wake-up call. You can hear him. He is a very utobeki. What I'm trying to say is that the media coverage that ENCA no newsroom gave to Fezile after this ordeal, it was good. It was very good because he needed that vindication. They gave him the vindication. Now there are people and celebrities and just normal people that are going to be paying forward for him to go get help. And when he comes back, I'm sure People are going to try. If he needs any assistance, any schooling or whatsoever, any training, he's going to get a job. He's going to be fine. That this painful ordeal, that is very, it's a year that the Mogales will never forget. Abantu baklo Olerato, but Cabo Fezile, it was a wake-up call for him, and it has helped him, and it will help his family, and his daughter is going to be proud of him after this painful experience. That side, that painful experience will forever live with them. I do not see Mama Galera. She will try to live life. Everybody will try to live how she died. No. La Mama Loana has, for me, died spiritually when she saw her daughter, even that for me. And also you could see the pain in Fezile. The only reason he couldn't cry, he couldn't even look at the cameras. He couldn't even look at the cameras. You could see the pain in him. You could hear it from his voice that he is still traumatized and very scared. So he needs counseling. He needs therapy. He needs therapy for his past pain of losing his baby mama, and he needs therapy from this white powder usage, and he needs therapy from this thing of being a suspect for something that he was actually a victim of. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. What do you think about those news that Ufezile now is finally going to get the help from South Africans? He was known as a suspect. It turns out he was a victim, and South Africans are like, our apology to you. Let us, because we said a lot of negative things on your name, let us put money. I've seen South Africans putting money for someone together. I've seen them putting money for Sweet Kuluva. I've seen them putting money for, I forgot the guy's name from Eastern Cape. And wow, they can make it happen. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.